Okay guys, so I'm here with Bob Vokey. We're here at Bearwood Lakes and we've been going through a full wedge fitting today. Bob, can you just explain to us a little bit how we started the process and obviously how that process would work for any club golfer or pro?
Okay.
How would you go from start to finish?
What is very important, the steps I would like to take. One of the very important, when somebody comes in for a fitting or to talk about wedges, I like to put them at ease, get rid of their anxiety, just really talk to them, say, hey, we're in this together. This is going to be a fun deal. You don't want to make it an ordeal. We want them to open up. We want to ask them questions because it's very important to me to be able to get the input. Type of course they play, type of turf they play, the bunkers they play from, the greens they hit to. All different things help with our decision, what we're going to do. Most of all, it's working with it, and the proof is in hitting the actual different clubs.
Yeah.
So then I'll turn around and I'll evaluate all their clubs that they bring in.
Yeah.
Check the lies, check the loft, check the shaft, check the grips, check all the different, and then all of a sudden, the loft particular, you may find a little gap in there.
Yeah, sure.
So sometimes, what's happened to I call a lot of the maybe avid golfer, they may come in and he may have a pitching wedge that's 46 degrees and he's playing with a 54 degree wedge. So all of a sudden that gap is too big. I like 4 to 6 degrees, which amounts to 12 to 15 yards gap between lofts.
So what I actually, what we settled on for me, which was quite good, was the 54 degree in the S grind.
S grind, which was very good for gapping on your 3/4 shots.
Yeah, we were hitting that quite consistently. The sort of 70, 75 yards, 80 yards-ish. And then, we then moved into the bunker. And one that we settled on there was the 58 degree K grind.
Right.
Just tell us a little bit about the K grind, how it works, and how I can actually get a little bit more versatility out of this club, not just in the bunker. Definitely.
This is a very good golf club. As you can see, it's got a very, very, I call it the bottom, call it the soul of the club. S-O-U-L also, the bounce. In other words, because S-O-L-E, soul. But what happens is, it's a very versatile golf club, and it gives the ability, if it's wide enough sole, it's going to give it enough resistance. The wider the sole, the more resistance the wedge offers to dig in, particularly in the bunkers or in the rough or in soft conditions, very soft conditions, very, very good. So we turn around, but it also has a little camber. What the camber is the angle between, which we call a little angle between the leading edge and trailing edge, a little camber. And what that does, it actually keeps you moving through, moving forward. It helps you to resist actually digging. It's a very versatile golf club.
We've obviously worked with some of the the best players in the world: Tiger Woods, Rory, McIlroy, Adam Scott. Who's been the best short game player that you've worked with?
Seve.
Yeah.
Seve, definitely. A lot of years ago, I worked with him, and he was. I get this asked all the time, and he was very creative. But trust me, and of course I go back to Lee Trevino, when we're still good friends, and he was a master. But I'll say right then, in the times with Tiger, and we're all the way from '99 on through to the years I worked with him to 2001, he was as good as anybody out there. So I always have him. He's in the 3. Phil is right there. 3. They're both pretty close. And then I got a lot of good. Steve Stricker was awesome.
Yeah.
Tom Pernice, as I said before, is awesome. Tom Kite, Brad Faxon, and we got a lot of good young guys.
Yeah.
Jordan Spieth, phenomenal. He's very creative. He's got his own technique, and it's very, very creative. And he uses basically 4 wedges.
Yeah.
He goes from a 46, he goes 52, 56, and a 60, and it's all the different shots. And he has different grinds for each one. I've got flags again from other people too, from Zach Johnson when he masters, Mike Weir when he won the Masters, Phil, and then of course I have one just recently from Jordan Spieth.
Yeah.
Very, very pleasing. It gives me a good thrill. But you know what really I enjoy myself? When I go to tournaments, when I walk in the tournaments, I walk behind the ropes, I'm allowed to walk, and I hear somebody call and say, Mr. Vokey, and they usually can tell it because I got little Voke on the back of the hat. Yeah. So they say, Mr. Vokey. And I'll go over. I automatically go over all the time, and I say, yes. He said, thank you very much. Since I've been using my Titleist Vokey wedges, my game has improved so much. My short game, I want to thank you very much. That to me is every bit as a personal satisfaction, because that's what we're trying to do.
Just to finish off then, Bob, we've gone through my fitting. Let's just hit a couple of these 54 degree wedges, because not only has Bob been helping me out, getting the right clubs, he's given me a few little tips as well. Just to help out my wedge play. Now, for this particular shot, for me, I'm quite happy with a 54 degree wedge.
Keep it low, skip it, run.
I don't need to fly it too far.
I'll ask him, how do you hit that shot? Now that was actually perfect. You couldn't hit it any better than that. But I'll look at it right now and hear the sound. Little nip right there, little divot right there was perfect. Well struck.
Yeah. So I've really enjoyed my day here with Bob Vokey. I've definitely found the right strokes for my wedges, and hopefully my handicap will be coming down in the near future.
It's going to. Awesome. Thanks.